Yeah. Head up in the clouds, dog, they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test, now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, don't know what is in me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up from my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working, I'm up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in my, yeah. Phone started jumping, what a day. Swear to God I need it, now I can't afford to wait. I just had a fan hit me up from Kuwait. Told him this would happen and we not a minute late. Seen them down bad, now they tryna hate. Same ones try to hit me for the raise. Got a mill, now they coming with a blaze. Check the numbers fam, I swear I'm getting paid. I'm a Don just like the Perrier. It's one time when I'm looking at a face. On the low like I'm pushing up the bass. Come down and I'll meet them at a gate. Got a check and I bought myself a place. They get some money and they blow it on bait. I don't flex but I'm pushing all the weight. Told them all I swear I got it's what it takes. Phone started jumping, what a day. Swear to God I need it, now I can't afford to wait. I just had a fan hit me up from Kuwait. Told him this would happen and we not a minute late.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like. Yeah, you about to see me on demand like. You know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't ever going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, at the top of the class on a roll. Ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the road, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, at the top of the class on a roll. Ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the road, here we go.
What is going on with this lower third that just comes up randomly? It's just so annoying. I got to fix that, guys. But what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And, guys, I'm going to have to do the whole stream like this because I slept on my neck weird yesterday, and now I can't move it at all. Like, Mrs. Candles is going to come in. I'm going to have to turn sideways like this. But what is going on, everybody? Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Don't forget to smash that like button. Every 100 likes we get gives you guys a chance, or extra chances, to win some free crypto on tomorrow's live stream. We're going to be giving away a whole lot of stuff tomorrow, so buckle up for that. Smash that like button if you guys have not already. And tonight, we got an amazing show for you guys tonight as I change my screen resolution. Bitcoin finally getting that drop to the downside that money flow was pointing to, and now we are getting a little bit of a bounce. You guys, we were talking about that little scalp long that I was in yesterday, so we're getting a little bit of a bounce. What are those key levels that we need to get above in order to see more upside for Bitcoin? And are we more likely to get that big bounce? And if we do get that bounce, what are those key levels of resistance? But if we are not going to get that big bounce, where can we look for that reversal for a potential bigger move to the downside? Shout out to Mrs. Candles. Mrs. Candles, before you leave, can you jack up this AC? I am dying right now. She said, too bad for you. Have fun sweating. Okay. Anyway, but we got an amazing show for you guys tonight. Let's say what's up to the Mafia. First off, don't forget to show some love to our mods in the chat. Shout out to Crypto Billy, Crypto Anon, Rob the Crypto Snob, Tyler Durden, Chemistry Bro, Rob the Crypto. Did I say Rob the Crypto Snob? You guys know who they are. Captain Kirk. Show them some love in the chat. We love them. You guys do too. So show them some love in the chat. And let's see. We got Crypto Pollo in the chat. What is going on? Mrs. Candle, show one hand before we go. Come on, before you leave us. Oh, my God. Nice shades. I like that. She just has sunglasses on her hand. Okay. All right. It's going to be a good day, guys. The hand smells like coconut, and it's going to be a good day. But shout out to Coin Hoover. What is going on, brother? Thank you for being here. Yo, let's go. Shout out to Coin Hoover. Said just stood up the wife for this show, Frankie. Shout out to Coin Hoover. Hey, let's go. I got to appreciate that, man. We got Dark Crash in the chat. Crypto Sniper. We got Grid 14. What is going on? Hollywood. We shouted out Crypto Pollo Loretta. We got Donato Cabrera in the chat. PS5, Future of Gaming. Good to see you in here, bro. Welcome back in. And last but not least, we got Felipe and Kush Patel, and sneaking in there last, Andy Lee and Wayne C. What is going on, guys? Thank you guys for being here. And without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on into the charts and see what we got going on here on Bitcoin. So here we are, guys. Let's see. Shout out to Crypto Billy. Says plastic doll hands smell like coconut. Shout out to Crypto Billy. I'm not sure exactly why you would say that the hand was plastic. I mean, we all know Mrs. Candles is real, right? Right? Anyway, let's go ahead and continue on here. Shout out to Crypto Billy. Let's see. Yo, shout out to Tim Candles fan. Says, where can I order one of those sweet-looking baseball hats? Well, I'm glad you asked, my friend, because now I can use this lower third in the way it's supposed to be used, and that is to tell you to check out FrankieCandles.com, or I'm sorry, FrankieCandlesTrading.com, where we have not only all of our affiliate links, our indicators, our exchange deals, all that good stuff, but we also have those hats that are now back in stock. You guys know we had some trouble with that, but they are back in stock in many different colors, so hit up FrankieCandlesTrading.com for all of our deals and merchandise. And with all that out of the way, shout out to you, brother. Let's go ahead and jump on in. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look here. So obviously, guys, we did get that breakdown on Bitcoin yesterday, which gave us a little dump down to about $56,450. And now we are getting a little bit of a bounce. Now, we were looking yesterday. I was in a little bit of a scalp long. I am now out of that, as that was supposed to be a small, lower time frame scalp trade. I am still holding my short all the way from the POC right here. I can pull up that actual position just to kind of visualize it for you guys. I am still holding this long position. I've taken profit, so it is a winning trade as of right now with that profit taken. However, I am still short from here, no longer in the short-term scalp, but I am still long from lower down here at about $40,000, just to update you guys on the trades that I'm holding. But for the most part, guys, we are simply, as you know, we were looking at the charts yesterday as we were slipping this key level. And if you're wondering what that key level is, it is simply this wick down here at about $59,088. And this was kind of the level that I was looking at for a potential swing failure pattern to look for a bigger long position back to the upside. Now, we did not get that swing failure pattern, but we are now kind of dancing around that key level. And in my opinion, guys, there are two major levels that we need to flip to support support in order to flip more bullish here and lose our medium-term medium-term sentiment of a potential bigger move to the downside based off the higher time frame money flow. As you guys know, as we were bing-bonging around in this range, we were looking at that daily money flow on the way to the downside, on top of that 2-day money flow also cruising to the downside, indicating that we were likely going to come up, put in a lower high, and then get that bigger move to the downside, breaking the current lows that we had. And we wound up getting that exact thing. And that was all based off higher time frame money flow. Now, if we are going to see that continue to play out and give us a continued downtrend, the money flow crosses over into the red and we do come down deeper. We're going to go ahead and talk about these next key levels, but not just yet. But if we do wind up seeing that happen, guys, the first kind of warning sign, in my opinion, is going to be the inability to reclaim this key level right here, which is that wick at 57. Come on, let me delete this. Come on, let me in. Bada boom. There we go. So number one, that first key level that we got to break is going to be this $59,088 wick. And if we are able to get back up here and flip this to support, we may be seeing, and this is something we've been talking about for quite some time, we may see a little bit of a failed auction down here where basically price breaks down out of a macro range. And to be, we talked about this yesterday. We have our value area range right here, which is the high and the low of the value area, which is not the same as just the technical range, right? The technical range, in my opinion, I would be pretty much be looking at this, obviously the all-time high here as the range high, and then the range low, I would either be looking at this wick right here at $59,088, or you could probably pull it right to this level right here at about 58.6. But either way, that is really the technical range. So, when we look at this, if we do go ahead and hide the range, the value area here, this is kind of really our actual technical range, right? So if we wind up coming down here and we fail to get accepted at these lower prices and we reclaim the range, this is kind of where we could start to look to come up to some higher prices. Now, it's not just that clean and cut, because if we bring back up our actual range, you guys can see here, let me go ahead and pull a new volume profile. I don't know why that disappeared, but drag that into our upper range. But that is level number one. So if we were able to get above this, hold support above this level, it could be bullish and give us a bigger move up towards that value area low of the value area, right? The value area low of the range here, right? The value area range, not the technical range, not the high and the low of the range, but the value area of the range, right? So does that make sense to everybody? This is the value area is not the technical range. It is the actual value area within the range, right? So with that being said, this is, a flip of this level 2 support would be bullish in my opinion, getting that bigger move up to the value area low, and this is the next major key level. Now, if we get this move to the upside, guys, in my opinion, we could still see a potential lower high come in before a bigger move to the downside, in which case we will talk about those lower levels, which we looked at yesterday. But, this is kind of level number one we have to get over, but I am not just flipping mega bullish, instantly looking for all-time highs, right? That is not going to be the situation here. I would much rather see a flip of support here, a move to the value area low, and then once we start flipping that value area low into support, this would be a more confident situation or a more confident signal, in my opinion, that we are likely to come up to that value area high and potentially off into new all-time highs. So we kind of have two big barriers here that we have to get across. But I'll be honest with you, right now, there are some things on the charts potentially pointing towards a little bit of a move to the upside. And there's probably a lot of people out there wondering, for the past few weeks, I've been talking about the mixed signals on the chart. And although things are somewhat clearing up just a little bit here, we are still in a little bit of a foggy situation as far as, are we going to get that big next move up or that big next move down? It is still a little bit mixed here, but that is why we are trading simply the key levels. But there are still some mixed signals, but I will say this. I want to go over the signals that are looking somewhat a little bit more clear, right? So we come on over here to the 16-hour. You can see we are printing that green dot, and it is a double green dot. It doesn't necessarily mean it's the bottom, but it could mean that it is likely a strong bottom. Keyword a strong bottom, not the strong bottom. But that 16-hour green dot alongside this 1-hour money flow coming up here could indicate that if we get that crossover into the green and we are going to get a move above this level and a bigger move up, that 1-hour money flow crossover may be the thing that I'm going to be keeping my eye on to start the move. So with that being said, that's kind of what I'm looking at, right? And then we take a look at the daily VWAP trying to get back to the upside, but you cannot ignore this money flow, guys. Again, as we ranged around up here and we were trying to figure out if it was more likely to get a move out of this range to the downside or a bounce back up to the value area high, that was kind of the question of the past few days, or a few weeks, I should say, or a couple weeks. Were we going to get above this value area low and go right to the value area high and beyond, or were we going to put in the lower high and get a move to the downside? And as you guys know, we were open to both of those situations potentially playing out because that's how trading works, right? It's an if this, then that statement, not a pick the direction and gamble all of your money and hope that it goes in the direction you think it's going to go. But the thing that I was leaning on a little bit more is because I typically just trade the charts, right? I'm open to the fake outs to the upside, but the charts are showing bearish money flow. So we made that decision to take this short on the lower high here, because we had a local golden pocket, and I looked at this yesterday with you guys. We had the local golden pocket, which is already where we expect that lower high to potentially come in. And we had the POC confluence, and money flow on the daily was coming out, making us expect a lackluster push to the upside for a lower high and a break of the range, right? And a break of these lows to continue the downtrend. So I have to do the same thing, right? Based off money flow, it is going to be more likely, in my opinion, right? And it's funny because, it's so hard, right? Because, it's so easy looking in hindsight, right? It's like, okay, like we trusted the money flow, we took the short, and it wound up playing out beautifully. I could show the trade in just a second. But at that time, it's like, oh my God, are we going to fake out? And then you got all the crypto Twitter saying, oh my God, it's a fake out. And it gets very, this is where the emotion comes into trading, right? But simply put, we trusted the information and it wound up playing out. But with that being said, money flow continuing and just starting to cross over into the red here. If this is not going to be a fake out and the bearish scenario plays out, guys, this is simply going to be what I'm looking for. It is going to be more likely. And again, if the bearish scenario plays out, and the reason I'm kind of giving the bearish and the bullish case here instead of just kind of leaning super bullish or leaning super bearish is simply because of the area of the cycle that we are in right now. Is simply put, if we are going into a parabolic move, typically on the higher time frames, money flow does not hang out in the red very much, right? I show this almost on every single stream for the past few weeks. When we go back to March of 2020, after the Black Swan event, and then after the halving, basically we just went sideways, consolidated before the next really, really big move up. And money flow tried to come into the red, fake out back into the green. Tried to go into the red, fake out back into the green. And what happened to price? It absolutely skyrocketed. So we are kind of in this area of the cycle again. So that is why it's not always, it's not all the time that I am expecting a fake out on money flow, right? That is, we're just in that time where it is likely to get fake outs on money flow. So that is why I'm open to that fake out to the upside. But just looking at the charts, it is going to be a little bit more likely, in my opinion, to potentially come up, put in a lower high, and then potentially continue our downtrend. Right now, this is where, shout out to Creighton C Super Chat yesterday, this is typically where new people to the market will see this live stream and say, what the heck? You said it was going down, and now we're pumping. But it's all part of the plan, right? Because in order for this higher time frame to play out with the money flow and give us a longer term trend to the downside, we need a lower high to come in, right? I mean, I guess you don't technically need it. You could just nuke from here. But, with this VWAP, once that green dot prints, we are going to expect a move to the upside, but it's a short-term move only to put in a lower high and then continue to the downside and continue the trend, right? So that's really where that kind of, a lot of people get tripped up, right? They're like, well, he's bearish, but the next day it's like, oh, we're bouncing. But I wouldn't be surprised if we bounce. And I will say this. Once that green dot winds up printing. That's where I would expect the move up, potentially to come into this Fibonacci Golden Pocket 786 retracement, which is also in pretty good confluence with our value area low, which is one of our other very key levels. So this is going to be massive, massive, massive resistance. This is going to be massive, massive resistance. Shout out to Attitude. I will come back to that in just a second. I will like it for you. Dave Digital in the chat saying bing bong. Hey. Mafia, I want you guys to drop, I don't know what it is, like a weightlifting emoji, because Dave has been killing it in the gym. And Dave, I really wish I could just come alongside you and just take the glory with you and say that I've been working out consistently too, because I have. I'm just kidding. I haven't. But shout out to Dave Digital. He has dropped those weightlifting emojis in the chat for Dave. Shout out to you, brother. I see you out there, bro. I see you out there. Let's go. Shout out to Dave Digital. Shout out to Anthony Fonseca as well. What is going on, brother? But anyway, as we look here, guys, with this, this is the next clear resistance level in my opinion, right? Golden pocket, 786, daily naked point of control, value area low. And in my opinion, right, if I wasn't looking at the fib, that value area low, daily naked point of control, sitting between $63,700 and $63,166 is still the key level that we have to flip to support before getting the bigger move up. So, you know, it's a bullish bearish case kind of situation here. If we get back above that daily naked point of control, I would expect more upside. And then again, that first early kind of signal would be the flip of this this SFP wick to get the move up. But if we do come back up to this golden pocket, 786, value area low, daily naked point of control, again, to kind of this whole zone, we don't know if we're going to get the lower high. We don't know if it's going to come in on this golden pocket. We don't know if it's going to come in on the 786 or the value area low or the daily naked point of control. So simply, I would sit on my hands and wait for these levels to get hit and then analyze the price action within the level, check XO charts, look at the order flow. Do we have signals to take a short or maybe add to my bigger short or take some scalp shorts? I will definitely be very cautious in this zone. The bigger zone is between 63,712 and 61,500, give or take a couple bucks. That is the next major resistance level. And then in my opinion, once we flip that whole zone to support, that's where we can look to higher prices. And I will be honest, guys, this little scalp long that I took yesterday, we showed it. We showed the trade yesterday. Last night I was looking at the chart. I wound up closing it just before I went to sleep. And it wound up just pumping a little bit more, but it's fine, right? It was a small, short-term scalp, but I like to share with you guys kind of, my journey, my trades, whether they're absolute bangers or whether I closed them too early and I wish I kept them open. I like to share with you guys because, just because I'm up here or just because I show you, I show you guys and how to trade, the indicators, all this stuff. I don't want anyone thinking like I never make mistakes or, it wasn't a mistake to close the trade last night because, again, it was a small, I'd rather close it and make some money than, let it run and wake up with a liquidation or a stop loss hit. But the, I just like to share this, right? Because that's the reality of trading. Sometimes you're going to close a position, even if you close it based off the, I was looking at the charts too, saying like, hey, it doesn't look like beautiful. Let me close this. Simply put, sometimes you're going to close a position thinking that the chart looks bad, and price is just going to pump through it, right? And then sometimes you're like, these are just things that happen, right? So I wound up closing out that position before I went to bed yesterday, and it wound up pumping a little bit more. But again, I'm not worried about that because I am holding my longs from lower. So if we do get some kind of insanity to the upside out of nowhere, I am covered on the long side. I was much more focused on catching the short here from the POC. So there you go. I probably would have, if we ripped all the way up to here yesterday, I probably would have just closed the trade in full. Maybe I would have left a little bit running. But either way, guys, those are the next key levels that I'm looking at to the upside. If this pump continues, I don't know if I'd close a pump. It's more like a bounce. But those are the two key zone and that top key level that we have to get above. And there you go. Right now, what if, right? What if we do not come above this level and come back up above that daily naked point of control and come up to the value area high and the new all-time highs? Simply put, the failure, I would like to see where this daily candle closes. A daily closure above here would be nice. But if we are unable to hold this as support and we break down back below and we get that bigger move to the downside, guys, the key levels to the downside remain absolutely 100% the same as what we were looking at yesterday. Yo, shout out to Coin Smoker. Says, close my short too early. Still 150% gain. Let's go. Shout out to Coin. Yo, that really is one of the keys, guys. You don't want to get too tied up on oh man, I shout out to Coin Smoker. The fact that I hope you're happy with that 150% gain because that is 150% gain. And a lot of times what people will say is like, oh man, I should have held that. And they see it as a bad thing. And this is horrible for your trading psychology because 150% gain, if you start looking at those as losers, you will just wind up gambling your money away going for these gigantic trades that are more than likely not going to play out in your favor 9 out of 10 times, right? That's why we like to trade with good risk management and we like to look for the singles and the doubles from the high of the volume profile to the low of the volume profile. And we scalp the heck out of these ranges until we get into that last position that winds up being the runner. And then this is literally where, like, if we did wind up getting a huge move down here, people would be like, dude, how did you know it was just going to dump from there? The truth is, we didn't know it was going to go from here to there, right? But we just assumed that we would get some kind of nice trade. And then as we take profit on the way down, we can move our stop losses to break even or even into profit, making them guaranteed winning trades. And then if that price keeps coming down, it turns that little single or double into a grand slam. I like to let those bigger trades almost hit me by surprise. Now, there are times where I see a nice setup on a high time frame and I really just load up on that position in anticipation of it being a bigger move. But when you're scalping and day trading these smaller, these smaller little ranges, I don't know if I would call this a small range, but that's the goal here. Short, long, right? Not just randomly. You need the confirmation. It's not that easy. But eventually, whether this breaks up or down, we are more than likely going to be in a long position from the bottom if it breaks up or a short position if it breaks down. And in this case, we're in the short position as it broke down. And we didn't even come back up to the value area high. We were able to know that there was weakness here for a potential breakdown. And if it continues down, great. It turns that little single or double into a grand slam. So just make sure that, like, when you guys miss out on gains or you close your trade too early, just understand, like, even me, right? I made small profit on that trade last night, but I would much rather take that profit that is still a win rather than just keeping the trade open and waking up to a stopped out trade. So there you go. I'm not saying I never hold trades overnight, but if I can help it, I like to just sleep a little better at night. I'll close out. It's a scalp position. I'm not looking to hold a scalp overnight, right? My other, like my short, I see if I can pull this up real quick. I'm going to have to log in. Let me pull up my face cam real quick, guys. I don't want to leak any personal information. Of course, it's going to spawn on the main screen here. Okay, it did not, so I will just share the screen again. Let's pull up Femex. Shout out to Femex. If you guys want to trade with the Mafia on Femex, go ahead and check the link in the description down below and check out our Femex Pulse group. But let me just go show this trade super, super quickly here. Bada boom, come on, bada boom. There we go. Let it load up. Right? So not that I never hold trades overnight, but you have to remember there's going to be certain contexts to certain trades, right? So you can see here, I have been holding this trade. I don't know if their entry date is here, but I've been holding this for a few days now. So I do hold certain trades, but this is a longer-term trade, right? My outlook for this trade is to cover me on that daily money flow crossover. If that plays out, I want to still be in this position to capitalize on that move down. But with that little scalp position that we were in, it literally went from like nothing to up almost like $850 last night on the stream. I should probably open trades right before the stream more often because that's like the second time that happened. But with the scalps, right, they're much higher leverage. That was a $40,000 position. So it was a little bit of a higher leverage position. So those I do not like to hold overnight, right? Because the leverage adds not only increased gains, but also increased losses. So I like to close those high leverage trades out before I go to sleep. And you can see, you guys can't see, but this one's on 2x. Yeah, come on. Don't snap. All right. Well, 2x leverage. Oh, my God, show it. There we go. 2x leverage right here. So the lower leverage trades, I don't mind holding overnight, but that's why I close out that trade. But anyway, if we do continue down, guys, the levels to the downside remain exactly the same. Not this lower range. Where is it? Not this. It's right here, MPOCs. So if we do continue down, guys, the next clear level of support, in my opinion, is going to be this zone right here. I would definitely have this marked out on your chart. Sitting between $53,600 and $50,764. This is definitely going to be the next area. There is a whole lot of confluence in this zone, guys. We have not only a daily naked point of control here at the top, we also have a monthly naked point of control sitting right here at 51,812. And you also have, for context, if we do wind up coming back down to this level and we start breaking into this little, playing around in this range, we can then use this little area of consolidation, extrapolate those levels to the right, and then use those for scalps potentially, right? So what that would look like is, hey, we're down, we're trading at these levels. Let me go ahead and come down to a lower time frame, scoot on over to that range, and then we can come over here. I would grab this little box, mark it out as a little zone here. Bada boom, and then I would grab my horizontal raise. I would put a value area high, a POC, and a value area low. This is the sauce here. And then I would go right on over to the price action. Shout out to anybody who doesn't know this little trick. If you ever scroll back on TradingView and you're looking at like past price action, you want to snap to your current price, there's a little arrow down here that you can click, and it will just bring you right to your current price action. Anyway, if we do wind up coming down there, now this is a smaller range, but if we did wind up coming down there, we can use this, right? Say price comes down, and we're just kind of hanging out in that 52 to 51K zone, right? This can be used for scalps, right? Where I would definitely, right, at that point, if we get, like, I would be very interested in longs down here, because if we look for longs down here, excuse me, if we find long confirmations down here, not only can we look to ride that from the value area low to the POC to the value area high, but I may even be conservative on taking profits on the way up in anticipation of a potential breakout and a much bigger bounce to the upside, right? Because this is our next, remember, it's simply just our next key level on the higher time frames. Let me get the levels back. There we go, right? So is that going to be the next big bounce, right? If we do come down, definitely going to be the next zone. But if we get that next big bounce from here, that's how I'm going to be looking for my next long trade, right? So surely on the higher time frames, it's going to look like bing bong, right? But as we hang out down here for a little bit on that daily candle, we can zoom to the lower time frames and look at the context within that volume profile, so we can find actual legitimate long entries and not just gamble on random longs on 100x, right? We can actually have context to where price is oversold, and then look for the confirmations, take to take those longs through that volume profile range. And then if they break out, you may be on the cusp of getting a much bigger, turning that small trade into a much, much, much bigger trade. So I don't even know if I want to cover this. We talked about this yesterday, but to be honest, I don't expect to be here tomorrow. But if for some reason we wound up absolutely nuking down, next key level remains exactly the same. This 42K zone right here, another volume profile, and I would treat it exactly the same, right? So these are definitely going to be the next major zones, and I'll be honest with you guys, as we looked at the heat maps yesterday, I could try to pull these up as well. Where is it? High block capital. I don't know why it looks like this. Okay. Is this going to run? No. Okay. It's frozen. Let me pull it up real quick. But when we take a look at those heat maps, guys, the important thing to pay attention to here is that we do have a whole lot of liquidity sitting from where we are now all the way down to about $50,000 even, right? So just below that range. So if we have a ton, and the reason for this, guys, is simply because when people see these pumps, they long. Where do their stop losses and liquidation levels wind up sitting at that point, right? They're simply put, let me see if I can log in here really quickly. Bada boom. But what does that mean, right? When people are longing these breakouts like that, where is their stop loss going to be? If I enter along here, my stop loss is going to be below, right? If I'm longing anywhere in this range, stop losses and liquidation levels are going to be below, right? And then as people long the breakout, their little stop losses and liquidation levels are left behind, right? And what happens if those liquidation levels and stop losses get hit? Well, oftentimes, not oftentimes, but all the time, when you get stopped out or liquidated out of a long trade, right, this is going to create a market sell and add sell pressure to the market, which is what causes those big liquidation wicks. So we know, not only by just understanding that theory, that there's a lot of liquidity all under here, right, which not only acts as a magnet for price, but also adds for fuel to the downside. We also know, again, not just based off the theory, but also the heat maps, as we bing bong around in this range, there's also a lot of liquidity down here. Now, I'm going to pull up this heat map so we can visualize this together, guys, because this is important. Come on, baby. Come on, why does this happen to me? Why is this happening? I don't know why this is going. What's going on? Hang on one second. Let me see if I can fix this. Okay, high block is broken. Why does this happen to me? Why me? Let me see here. Bear with me. Am I going to have to show the small one? Okay, it's broken. It's completely broken. Let's try this one more time. And it's completely broken. All right, let me pull up this map. Oh, my God, it's broken on here, too. Okay, well, we can't visualize the heat maps right now, guys, but you guys know what it looks like. Actually, let me pull up the let me pull up the Discord real quick, because I can let me pull up the Discord really quickly. I'll just pull up like an old heat map because they're like higher time frame heat map as well, so it doesn't really matter. So I'll just take a look at this, right? So this is from the premium Discord. But by the way, link in the description down below or on FrankieCandlesTrading.com. But you guys can see here, between where we are basically like right now, right, hovering around this zone, look at all those hot spots of liquidations. You get a little bit of fall off on that liquidity down here, but really that liquidity does not have a hard stop until just at about $50,000. So that liquidity is literally sitting exactly where we would assume it's sitting based off that theory that I just explained. Hit me with a hashtag value in the chat if you guys understand that theory that I just mentioned, why we could get fuel to the downside based off liquidations and stop losses. Hopefully, I feel like this is a really, really simple thing that a lot of people don't really explain simply. They explain it like, oh, you got to look for the liquidity. What's liquidity? And then they just kind of like dance around explaining what liquidity is. Liquidity is simply stop losses or or orders in the market, right? Liquidity equals money. And when you have a stop loss, that is a market order, right? That is money. That is an order, right? So price gets gravitated towards these levels, and when they get hit, they create a move in the opposite direction. So not only would a crack into this liquidity cause a big dump to the downside, but we also know that it basically stops at 50K. After all of these longs get stopped out, if we do get the move down, once all those longs get stopped, there is liquidity down below still. We could get a bigger drop, but there is a little bit of void in liquidity here, which might mean once you get that big liquidation wick, it'll finally be able to give us a bigger bounce. But we don't know if this is going to happen necessarily, but this is just kind of a theory, right? There's no guarantees here, but it would make sense. And, if we do keep pushing down a little bit, it wouldn't take a lot to get that big liquidation down to the next key level. And then same thing down here at 42K or around 42K. I would say between about 44.5 and 41K. That's the next key level, right? Because if we pull up the VPVR, you can also think of it like this, right? If you look at the VPVR, let's go ahead and enjoy our tradition here of turning off these levels. I won't even save it, but this oftentimes lines up with the volume gaps, right? Because all that liquidity is sitting here, a lot of quick move up, quick move down. We always say that when you get a quick move up, oftentimes when you break those levels, you will get an even move and an even move and just as fast of a move to the downside. Same thing right here, quick move up. If we start breaking that range, could give us a quick move down, right? So all of these do line up with the volume gaps, right? So it's kind of an easy way to see where you're going to move through quickly with price. But if we're talking about why price actually gets those quick moves, in my opinion, it would be based off the liquidity left behind from everybody longing this big move. So that is kind of why we could potentially continue down. And that is in agreement with our higher time frame money flow, right? So if we get that move down, it's likely going to be based off that, and these are 100%. Whether we get the move or not, who knows? We could bounce from here. As you guys know, like nothing is a guarantee in TA, but if we do get that big move down, something that is for sure is these levels are sitting here and will likely get respected. And, when you're looking at the high volume nodes, high volume node, kind of a high volume node. Like this isn't even really the strongest level in my opinion. Really, this is our next major zone. So really we want to get a bounce from this, right? If we do not bounce from this, it's pretty likely that we're going to come down to that into the 40s, right? So keep that in mind. But other than that, guys, simply letting price action work its way out here. I didn't find another setup this morning. Otherwise, I would have re-entered a long here. But as price bing bongs around, I will be looking for potential long positions to scalp. But other than that, waiting for things to kind of hash themselves out here, holding that bigger long position, holding the bigger short position, and holding the bigger longs from lower. But other than that, just the little degenerate scalps and just waiting to see if we can hold this key level at $59,088. So there you go. That's all the bullish and the bearish. We're just going to have to see what happens. Shout out to Stupid Bitcoin. Said, I pretend mine says CandleMafia. Shout out to Stupid Bitcoin. Not 100% sure what that says. What that means. But Dave, shout out to Stupid Bitcoin. We're going to turn you into Smart Bitcoin here in a minute here. But shout out to Dave Digital. Said liquidity equals people at the crowded part of the... Yo, shout out to Dave Digital. Liquidity, this is literally how I explain liquidity. Literally. But anyway, Dave says liquidity equals people at the crowded part of the beach with all the money that I sell my ice cream to, right? Dave, I'm pinning that. You could not have nailed that any better. So I'm pinning that. Let's go. Shout out to Dave Digital. And just a real quick explainer of that, guys. People always say, why is price gravitated towards liquidity? And I always explain it as like, imagine someone selling ice cream on the beach, right? If I'm selling ice cream on the beach, I'm not going to walk around the empty beach, right? I'm going to go where all the people are because those people have money in their pockets. I need to find the money to transact, right? This is somewhat similar to what happens on Bitcoin, right? If I know that there's a lot of liquidity sitting all down here, right? All these orders, I'm going to have to go, and ice cream man is the price. I'm going to have to go down here to transact, right? So it kind of gravitates me towards that crowded part of the beach or where all those stop losses and liquidations are sitting. Shout out to Dave Digital. Shout out to you, bro. Couldn't have asked for a better answer. Shout out to, shout out to Villasenor. Shout out to you, brother. Thank you for being here. Say, can you check Pyth? Yes, I will mark down Python. With that being said, guys, I think it's about time to take a look at those altcoins. Go ahead and drop them in the chat if you want to see them, Rob the Crypto Stomp will count the votes and let us know what we're looking at. And my chair is sinking, guys. So if you stick around to the end of the stream, you might see me fight my chair. But anyway, I will take Pyth off the list, Rob. I will just do that first. And then we're going to start off with Ethereum or Ethereum, as your grandmother might call it. And my chair just keeps sinking. How low will this thing go? Let's go. Okay. So, yeah, we'll take a look at Pyth. We'll take a look at Ethereum or Ethereum. And let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Is there a good sell opportunity for Arweave? We could try to take a look at Arweave as well. Let's see. Creighton says, I got to be honest. I don't want ice cream at the beach. I plant my flag in the hot bikini section. Shout out to Creighton C. Let's go. Okay, Mrs. Candles isn't here, I don't think. But anyway, let's go ahead and continue on. All right. Hey, shout out to JB. And let me check the other super chat. Shout out to JB. Said it's already holding 59.88. When are you confident that it's holding? Shout out to JB, bro. Great question. For me, I'd love to see the daily close up there. That would be somewhat of a significant sign. I'll be honest, guys. Like, people always talk about, like, we have to close a 4-hour candle above this level, and then it's moon time. And I'm not saying that it doesn't work, but I don't know. Like, I've seen, like, in my experience, right? Like a lot of people would say, like, oh, if we close a daily candle below this level here at 63.3, that's definitely going to break us down. I mean, but then you just go up and you close multiple daily candles above that level, right? So I don't really I would like to see a daily close up here, but for me it's more of let's get up there and consolidate, right? Like if we get up here, if we can get up here and consolidate, for me, really the way I handle it is I will zoom in, right? And I'm looking, like, let's get up here. If we could form I mean, we are kind of forming a range here, but basically what I would do is I'd pull a little range here, and then I would just find long opportunities at the low of that range, understanding, right, I would like to be a little higher here, but understanding if I long the low of that range and we break out to the high of the range, there could be a good possibility that we break out of that value area high and come up to much higher prices. So for me, I'd like to spend a little bit of time here. Like right now, like this is pretty choppy, right? Came up. Well, let's go to the 4-hour here. So we closed two 4-hour candles up there. It's not that bad. Yeah, for me, I just like to see a clean hold, and a lot of it weighs on market cipher, right? If we get up here, right, let's pretend, let's just say we get up here. Let's go to like the 30-minute. Like, let's say we start kind of bing-bonging around here, right? Bing-bong, 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 right? And we have a nice range and money flow on the 30-minute, and the lower time frame starts coming out. In my opinion, at that point, it's more likely to get a break back down below. So it's not really like a candle close or anything like that. A daily close above that would be great. But really, it's like the reaction, right? Like, let's get up here and get a big move up. And then once that happens, then you could start to look for retracements, right? And then, like, I'm at that point, right? If I wasn't in my long from down here, or maybe it was down here. If I was not in my long from down here, wait for the bounce, right? Whether it comes up to this level, this level, this level, wait for the pullback into a key level, and then find the long confirmation to go long. So, yeah, it's kind of hard to say. It's not just a candle close for me. It's more of like actually analyzing the price action at that level or zone. So shout out to JB. That was an amazing question. Let's see. I feel like I might have not done a great job of explaining it. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Okay. Let me just check in on the super chats really, really quickly here. And shout out to Attitude. Said, Frankie, what do you think of Lux Algo liquidation levels indicator? Shit, dude, I cannot believe you just said that, because I was trying to make a video yesterday, not about the liquidation levels, but let's see, Lux Algo liquid. Oh, let's go to community. Lux Algo liquidity. Let's see. They have a bunch of them. Let's see. Heat map, liquidity levels. So this one I don't look at. So I wasn't doing it on liquidity levels. What I was using it for was, or what I was going to make the video about, which I may still make, is the liquidity swings. This is a really, really good indicator in my opinion. So shout out to Attitude. I don't have a lot of experience with the liquidation levels. I will look into it, though. I have it starred, which means I wanted to look into it. But if we take a look at the liquidity swings here, guys, This is actually the indicator that I was going to do the video on. Actually, let me pull up my Lux Algo template here and turn them on. Everybody always asks me, Frankie, when I look for a swing failure pattern, where do you find the swing failure levels, right? Where do we find the wicks that we're looking for price to, whoops, I can't draw on this. Hang on, let me pull up a fresh chart here. People always ask me, well, Frankie, if I'm looking for swing failure patterns, where do you find the wicks that you look for the swing failure patterns at? And this is a really easy way to take the guesswork out of things. And let me actually just turn off some of these other indicators just so you guys can see this actual thing. And this is 100% free by Lux Algo. They have over 100 free indicators. You guys can check that out. But the liquidity swings is really, really cool, right? Because not only does this show you where those liquidity levels are, right? They're basically just significant swing levels. But it also gives you, I know it's hard to see, it also gives you the volume metrics. I can't even see them. I should make the text bigger. But it also gives you the volume metrics, which is really helpful, honestly. So, oftentimes I will look at the 1 hour here on the Lux Algo liquidity swings, and that is kind of where you can find, at the end of the day, guys, liquidity lives above all highs and lows, right? But the real trick to finding the liquidity, the SFP levels, is trying to figure out where the most liquidity is sitting. So, that is kind of where this indicator comes in, because it automatically marks out the significant swing points. So, you can use a mixture of your theory of like, hey, where is there likely the most stop losses sitting, right? When you're talking about liquidity, you're talking about stop losses and liquidation levels, right? So where are there a ton of people short from that has a lot of liquidity sitting above that price might want to come up, sweep, and then reverse, right? Bada boom, right? You come down, close the candle below that level, and you get the big move down. And these, like a lot of people say, like, well, should I look at this wick? Should I look at this wick? Should I look at this wick? I like to look at the big wicks, right? Can't believe I just said that. Anyway, shout out to Wick 589. But yeah, any kind of big wick like this would be a beautiful SFP level, and you can see here, right? If I go into bar replay mode, bada boom, right? You got a big wick down here, and just to hide this real quick so you can see that wick in all its glory, right? Gigantic wick. It's being marked out by the liquidity swings indicator, right? So I would either leave the indicator on or draw this as a SFP level. Right now I know, and I would also do other things. I'd look at the heat map. I'd look below this low. Is there a lot of liquidity sitting there? Does it make sense for people to be long down here and that there might be a lot of liquidity sitting down below? In my opinion, this is a range, right? So in my opinion, it is very likely that there's a lot of liquidity sitting down here because a lot of people like to long the below with a range, right? So if price did ever come back down there and we broke the level, came back up, close the candle above that level, that could be a potential long position, right? So that's an SFP level, and Lux Algo will mark it out automatically for you. And I don't know if I said this. This is 100% free. You guys should check out their premium indicators as well. But this is 100% free. You can go check this out right now. But obviously, I mean, this is hindsight, so we knew that we wound up coming back down there at some point. But what happens, right? Let me try to do this in a timely manner. Even right here, right? Little SFP, candle, breaks below the level, right below the level, comes up, closes the candle above, and then boom, you come up. I don't even think that was the big move, but or was it? I mean, boom, look at that. Bing bong, right up into another liquidity swing, right? And then you come up in here and you reject. So, and you can SFP the same level more than once, which you do here, right? I mean, you actually swing failed this wick as well, but both of these wicks kind of worked, right? You came down, wicked back up, closed your candle above the level, bing bong, big AF move up. So there you go, right? These are, I mean, that's how the SFPs typically play out, right? When you get them confirmed, and obviously I'm looking at other confirmations, I'm looking at other things, but that is basically what this is how this can be helpful, right? It's 100% free. You guys can check it out, but also check out their premium indicators. Link in the description down below. If you guys are interested, shout out to Lux Algo. But yeah, I get this question all the time, and I mean, didn't take us long to find these examples. So there you go. It's not a guarantee, right? It's not like you could just come onto this indicator and be like, okay, as soon as price comes up here and comes back down, I can short. You're also looking at other confirmations, but that's how you can try to find. And the volume metrics also help a lot, right? Because it could give you an idea of how much volume was traded up there. So there you go. Shout out to Lux Algo. 100% free. Go check that out right now. 100% free value. You can go use this right now and potentially catch a swing failure pattern. Who knows? But anyway, let's go ahead and continue on here. And let's go ahead and take a quick look at Ethereum or Ethereum, as your grandmother might call it. Let's go ahead and jump on in. Let's go ahead and hide the indicators. And we'll come on to our actual chart here. That was not the correct chart. Bada boom. Let's see. Okay. I mean, same thing, right? It's like that. We got that one move down, and that's all we're getting. Everything else is going to be boring from now on, apparently. But yeah, I mean, we slipped that value area low yesterday. We looked at this yesterday, right? I'm pretty sure yesterday was the third. Yesterday was the first. Yeah, so we slipped this value area low. Our job at that point, I probably said this on the live stream yesterday, we got to get above that value area low, flip that level to support before we get a bigger move up to the POC and value area high. And here we are, right? Just kind of getting back above that value area low. So, you know, very similar to Bitcoin, how that $59,088 wick is that key level we have to get above. This value area low is very similarly the local level to get a move to the upside, right? But we still have the higher time frame levels. If we pull our range here, well, yeah, just above you, the value. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I would say this whole purple box, to be honest with you. Right here, right? If we get above that purple box, then you could come up locally, and once you break out of this local value area, that's where you can expect to fill the whole range. But other than that, like, nothing really changed here on Ethereum. I would be careful, though, because, yeah, I mean, let's add more confusion to it, right? 16-hour green money flow, just bing, bong, bing, bong, bing. This is why this is a hard market to trade right now. But 16-hour green dot with a 1-hour money flow crossover into the green as you reclaim that value area low could make for a bigger move to the upside. Bada boom. So there you go. And then once you, I mean, this is easy, right? Because you have your volume profile. Once you lose that value area low, you could continue to look for longs. But once you lose this decisively, in my opinion, it's better to sit on your hands because although the 16-hour money flow is bing-bonging back and forth into the green and the red, your money flow on the daily is crossing over into the red, which would mean what? Somebody answer in chat. I know somebody knows here. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Shout out to Steve M. What is going on, brother? Thank you for being here. I appreciate you for tuning in. But yeah, if we wind up getting a move, wind up getting a move, we would anticipate based off this money flow. There we go. Shout out to Caesar. Says more downside, long-term trend. Let's go. Shout out to Jay and shout out to Jay Gilly. Crushing it. Longer-term trend. Okay, there we go. Let's go. Now I know you guys are picking up what I'm putting down. You're catching what I'm throwing. Your POC. Shout out to Dave Digital. Let's go. Lower levels, yes, absolutely. Let's go. Okay, now I know people are paying attention. But yeah, that money flow crossing over into the red. Now again, we have to understand where we are in the cycle. Fake outs are likely, but just based off this chart, this money flow would make us anticipate, right? That's important. This is why I know you guys are paying attention. This is important. It doesn't mean that it's going to go lower, but this is what you anticipate the chart to do based off the analysis, understanding it doesn't play out 100% of the time. So 100% correct, Mafia. If that continues into the red, we would anticipate, even if we get a green dot on the daily first, we would anticipate that to be a lackluster bounce to put in a lower high, and as you guys said, continue the trend lower, right? Because the money flow indicates a longer-term trend, and once that red comes deeper in like that, that is where we anticipate the longer-term trend to continue. Next key level, we have the daily down here at 2642. Just under that, excuse me, we also have this volume profile between 2398 and 2185. So you do have a significant amount of support down there. But that's what I would expect. If we come down, those are the key levels and what to look for on money flow. If we can hold this value area low, we could get that move up. But obviously, we know the context of that, right? Could be a lower high. But it doesn't mean, right? It doesn't mean that we can't bounce from here. This is where people are like, what the heck? You said it was going to go down because money flow, but now we're bouncing. Like, no, that's part of the plan, right? You have to understand how the market moves, right? Ups and downs. All right, let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Shout out to Glyph. Yes, we go over that. I went over that earlier. Bada boom. Yeah, shout out to Glyph. Glyph, I don't know, you probably weren't here. But same thing on Ethereum as Bitcoin, right? That is what the chart would be telling us, right? But we know, because I've been in crypto for a few cycles now, and I've been looking at Market Cipher for years, we know that where we are in the cycle, shout out to Glyph, thank you for saying this, understanding where we are in the cycle, potentially on the cusp of a much bigger move to the upside, the next bull run, right? At this point in the cycle, I'm sorry if this is repetitive. We just went over this on Bitcoin, but it's important, right? When you're in this part of the cycle, what are we? We're on the 6th day. Let's come to the daily. When we are in this part of the cycle, right? 2018, 2019, or 2018 bear market, 2019 bear market rally, 2020 dump, right? And then look what happens right after that black swan in 2020. This is like, I would argue we're somewhere here. Look at money flow. Shout out to, hang on. Shout out to Glyph. Where did you learn that? This is literally what we talk about. But yeah, look at the money flow, right? We always will spend more time in the green than the red when we're in a parabolic bull run. So that's why we're very open to the idea of that fake out. And I really feel like I beat a dead horse because I've been talking about this for weeks, talking about go back in time, look at the money flow, fake outs are likely. But yes, when you have money flow come down, back into the green, back into the green, back into the green. This is why we're saying it's such a hard market to trade, because like the market cipher is bearish, but we understand that we're in a high risk time for a fake out into the red and a bigger move into the green. So shout out to Glyph. Absolutely correct. Bada boom, bada bing. Shout out to Steve M. Said, thank you, sir. Even though I DCA buy the dips and hodl, this is very valuable information for people looking to be traders. Shout out to Steve M. Let's go. That's what we're talking about, baby. That's why we're here, bro. That's why we're here, Steve. Thank you for being here and spending some time with us. And thank you to Glyph for bringing up that money flow. Absolutely correct. Shout out to Thesis himself. Said, yellow X's don't count, Sir Billy. Shout out to Sir Billy. Let's see. Hey, shout out to Glyph. Said, I spend time looking for bottom signals to DCA spot in Jason Casper's community. Good content. Maybe I should join you. Hey, Glyph, come on over, brother. I wish, Glyph, scrub back to Bitcoin, and we go over exactly what you just said. We went over it on Bitcoin. It's pretty funny. So 100% correct. Quick little thing, if you're looking for, I mean, we're kind of past this point already in this cycle, but for the next cycles, I will say, typically what we look for those spot DCA buys and what we were talking about as we were coming into the bear market was, hey, I almost said look at history. Look at history, right? Let me go ahead and just hide these TA. Look at history, right? Typically, when you get moves into the red on the on Market Cipher B on the weekly, this has always been the best time to DCA into Bitcoin, right? Grab our pen, right? Once you come down, weekly money flow crosses over into the red. If you started your DCA there, right, you would have literally been buying the bottom of the bear market. Bada boom, right? Right here, weekly. I mean, this has served me well, so well. Weekly money flow in the red. Bottom of the bear market. Obviously, you're going to buy a little bit down and a little bit up, but obviously, you're going to average out somewhere at the bottom to run up into the next massive bull run. And what happened this time? Simply put, money flow crossover into the red. Now, obviously, I waited. I didn't just buy up here. I knew that it was likely if we were going to go into a bear market, we were going to go lower than here. So once that money flow started to cross over into the red, you let it fall a little bit. And then once you're in a red wave, this is kind of where I started to DCA, right about here. And then our money flow crossover into the green. I mean, even had a pretty decent time, right? Like, I mean, I bought most of my Bitcoin and everything else here. Bought a little bit in here as well. I mean, heck, I bought some alts the other day, right? But for the most part, right, money flow in the red, bottom of the bear market for the most part, right? If we run up to 100, 200K, right, you're buying the bottom of the bear market. So this is literally how we buy the bottom for the long term, right? Super easy strategy, and you saying that just reminded me of that. So I figured I'd spit that sauce. So there you go. Shout out to Glyph. Let's see. Shout out to the Salty Bitcoin. Says, Frankie, is there an in-depth tutorial that covers money flow signals and how you read them for various situations? Would love to see that. Popcat, please. Shout out to the Salty Bitcoin. We do have money flow videos. I don't know if we have one that is that specifically goes in that specific direction. So maybe that's a content idea that we should write down. Shout out to the Salty Bitcoin. Just send your bill for you're like a writer for Frankie Candles now. I'm just kidding. Send your bill to Frankie Candles. Frankie Candles P.O. Box. I don't know. But yeah, I will actually, that's actually a really good idea. All right, let's go ahead and continue on. Bada boom, bada bing. And shout out to Glyph said stochastic RSI on a 6-day crossing up from oversold trends to always pump in bull markets. Bull market phase of cycle 2. I know you're a hardcore market Cypher B guy. Shout out to Glyph. Yeah, I bet you I pulled up the stochastics right now. It's probably very similar signals for sure. Yeah, well, more signals, but yeah, probably very similar. Shout out to Glyph. There we go. Let me get rid of this. How do we do? Okay, bada boom. What happened? Where's the X? There we go. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and continue on. Shout out to Dave Digital said, do you order Bitcoin and gravy? Yes. Every single night for dinner, Mrs. Candles makes me Bitcoin and gravy. Absolutely. Shout out to Dave Digital. Let's see. Yeah, shout out to Crypto Cookie. Now, we are entering a little bit of a weird way. Shout out to Crypto Cookie said, just dumping money in on the weekly big green dots would boost profits by 5 or 10x from where we are right now. It is funny, once you're in, I would never recommend that you just trade green dots. Now, spot buys are a little bit different, right? Because if you were to buy this green dot, like, sure, you would have come up and then down another 40%. But in the long term, right, if you bought down here and you have a long-term outlook, right, like, as a trader, guys, I am a trader. I am like the epitome of a trader. I scalp, I day trade, I swing trade. I am like all of the trader. I am the tradiest trader ever, right? And even me, it's like people focus too much on catching the actual bottom. This is why most people lose money, right? So shout out to, I forget who said that, but absolutely, right? Even on the, like, this is weekly, right? If I were to buy that weekly green dot, everyone would be like, oh, you idiot, you bought and then we pumped, right? Or we bought and then you dumped. But if you have a long-term outlook, right, like, and you're not looking to catch the actual bottom, like, buying right here would have been totally fine, right? Even if you bought on this candle, you right now would be up 268%. That is not a bad decision in any book, right? Not a bad decision at all in any way, shape, or form. You're up 268%. But people will tell you, you bought here and then we dumped 40%. You could have bought the bottom. You could have bought 40%, but like you could. But the chances of you waiting for that dump and buying that dump is so low that you're better off just, you have to buy at some point, right? And if you focus too much about catching the bottom, all those people who will say, hey, I'm not going to buy here. I'm going to wait for another little pullback because I'm looking at the 7-minute and it looks like it's going to pull back. All those people wait for price to pump and then they buy up here, right? Like, I know people like this. It's most people. I was like this, right? So, yeah, absolutely. Like, I don't remember what you said. You didn't say the weekly. I think you said, man, I lost it. Oh, man, I lost it. It was like green dots on the, yeah, just dumping your money on, yeah, he was talking about weekly green dots. Yeah, I mean, like, look at this. Green dot here, bing bong. Green dot here, bing bong. Green dot here, bing bong. Green dot here, technically bing bong, right? So, and again, I'm not saying just buy and sell green dots, but for longer term stuff, I mean, hey, like, because you could buy this weekly green dot, and then people will see this little push to the downside and be like, oh my God, it's going to zero, right? Like, so you have to have that longer term outlook, but absolutely, right? Like, we're at the point in the cycle where, like, a lot of the dips just get bought up, right? So buying those green dots usually ends up in big moves up. I'm not saying just buy green dots, like, not financial advice, but I mean, we just back tested it. Let's see. Shout out to Salta. What is going on, bro? Thank you. Said TRB short now. I don't know. We'll have to take a look at it. Shout out to Rob, a crypto snob. He's probably like, pin my next comment. Let's see. Bada boom. Thank you, Rob. We got it. Replace pin. Sorry, Dave. I have to unpin your message. Okay, yeah, Altura. Is Altura on here? No, we could try to take a look at Altura. No problemo. Let's see. Okay, there we go. Shout out to Mike. Let's check out Altura. That's first on the list. Oh, no, it's not. I mean, it's not on the list. Is this Aerodome? All right, let's check out Altura real quick. And then we'll go off the list. Okay, so this going to zero. Next. I'm just kidding, guys. I'm just kidding. I'm trying to find more price history here. That's Algorand. What is it? ALU? Okay, yeah, we're not gonna get too much price action here, but that's on the weekly. Let's check out the daily. Oh no, it's dumping. Well, you could have. I mean, this is also on Solana. I don't know if I'll have time to look at Solana today, but Solana's got a potential daily bull div printing. I'll just show it real quick. Lower lows on your price action, higher lows. It is printing it, right? You are printing a daily bull div on Solana. I just bought a whole lot of Solana today. Doesn't mean it can't dump. I'm comfortable, right? It was a whole lot of Solana, but if we dump again, I will just buy more, right? I'm not saying it's going up only from here. But I just like to share with you guys what I did. I bought a bunch of Solana today. But anyway, so you do have your bull div printing here at the value area low on the daily on Solana. So keep that in mind. I don't know if we'll have time to look at it, but I do want to point that out. And honestly, we're fighting that key level. Got to get above this level at 140 to get a bigger move up. So we'll have to see what happens. But on Altura, you have almost the same thing, right? Bull div about to print. Once that VWAP crosses over, we will get the green dot. Yeah, so this is kind of a wonked out range, basically just on all of the price action. But technically speaking, this is a daily bull div. Technically speaking, bull divs typically give you a move to the upside. If you get a bounce here and you flip this value area low, understand you have that POC just above you. But I don't know. Like, for me, I don't have any Altura. If I were looking to buy it, I'd probably be buying right now. Not financial advice. I'm not telling you to do that, but I would do that, right? But I've lost money before, right? I bought Solana before it went to $8. So keep that in mind. I'm not like we get it right a lot, especially with the trades. But when I say I would buy this, if I believed in this project, this is like never going to be, in my opinion, a bad buy, right? It's very cheap right now. And if it dumped again, if I believed in the project, I would simply just buy more, right? So I'm not saying it's only going to go up from here, but with a daily bull div, money flow on the 10 hour and the 12 hours starting to come up. It doesn't look like the most beautiful for a massive pump, but bull div below the big value area like that, if it gives you a move up, you got the value area low here at 4.046. POC sitting at 5 cents. Flip that POC, could wind up being a bigger move up. I just leave that there. But again, doesn't mean you can't dump. And if it did, I wouldn't be upset. I'd be like, oh man, like I could have waited, but it's okay. I just put the other half of my bag in. I never dump my whole bag in at one spot. So there you go. As you guys know, I bought some alts on the first little dip that we got on Bitcoin recently, right? Like we dumped down to here from the POC down to the value area low. I bought some alts. We dumped again. I bought some more, right? I'm not upset that I bought the alts up here, right? It's all about getting an average entry. The more you try to pinpoint the exact bottom, in my opinion and my experience, you are more likely to buy at higher prices, right? You're better off just buying and then letting it drop, and then buying again and letting it drop, and then buying again, right? I'm not saying buy the tops, but if it looks like the price is pretty oversold and you're going to drop again, just buy more, right? That's what I do. If you try to snipe the bottom and you're like, I'm putting my whole bag in here, or you're like, I think it's going to come down a little bit more, it pumps, and you're like, I'm going to wait for it to come down, and then it comes down a little bit, and you're like, oh, we'll keep coming down, and then it pumps again. This is how people wind up buying on the way up. This is not what you want to do. This is, you want to buy when everybody's scared, when everything is bearish, right? I'm praying for a black swan, right? I don't want anyone to get hurt. Don't get me wrong. Like, I know black swans oftentimes come with, like, financial burden for a lot of people and, like, physical burden for a lot of people. I don't want any of that. But anything that's going to scare the markets out here, oh, God, I would love that. I would just buy so much. Oh, my God. Anyway, if that bull div confirms, these are definitely the key levels to watch. I'll just mark these out for you guys. Bada boom. Bada bing. So, value area low at 0.046, POC at 0.05 or 5 cents. And then your value area high is sitting at about 7.5 cents. Could pull this little local Fibonacci. So I would pay attention to some of these local fib zones as well. But the money flow here looks different, right? Altura does not have money flow just beginning to cross over into the red, right? It's already pretty significantly in the red here. So, this is a little different, right? Sure, if the money flow continues down, we could anticipate a lower high and a big move down, but this is different, right? Bitcoin right now is just starting to cross over into the red, meaning that we could still have a big wave coming. This looks like, with a bull div here on the daily and money flow this deep, could potentially be a bottom. I'm not calling the bottom, but I'm just saying it could be a bottom, which is why I'd be comfortable picking some up here. So there you go. That's what I look at on Altura. Let's see. Yeah, like 4-hour money flow is kind of bing-bonging around, right? Also, by the way, Daily bull div is not printing yet. Once it prints, that's when you can look for the move up. And also, on a daily bull div, you're not necessarily expecting a instant move to the upside, right? More often, on a lower time frame, you might pull back a little bit, but eventually that trend will continue to the upside. So I would stick to the higher term time frames on this. So, yeah, other than that, it's kind of hard to find any other levels, right? Like, this is the lowest level I can find, just based off the youngness of the chart, or the lack of age. So there you go. There's Altura. Let's see. Dot also printed a daily bull div. I also bought some Dot recently. So yeah, I mean, I will say this, right? A lot of the altcoins don't look as bad as Bitcoin. And also remember this, guys, like we're still having the back of our head that we're at that point of the cycle. Like we just went over on Ethereum and Bitcoin. We're at that point in the cycle where we're going to spend more time in the green with money flow than we are in the red. And those fake outs into the red are very likely. So we might not even see, I want to be very clear about this because, you know, this is the reality of the situation. This money flow can yeet up from here. This green dot can be the thing that pushes us all the way up to new all-time highs. Because we're at that point in the cycle. Again, I'll just do it one more time. We're at that point in the cycle where we start to spend much more time in the green. We are in the danger zone for fake outs on money flow. That's why I say, by narrowly, just looking at the information on the chart, this is bearish money flow. But knowing, because we're smart, knowing where we are in the cycle and knowing that we may be in another situation where money flow is going to start doing this, fake out into the red, back into the green, fake out into the red, back into the green, fake out into the red, back into the green. We're going to start doing that. We're not going to anticipate, we're not going to see a big move down, right? So again, this is why everything is so mixed signals and super choppy right now, because it's very hard to like, you know, is this cycle going to play out? Like maybe this is the cycle where we get a big dump before the big move. Like who knows? That's why we're open to both situations, right? If this is a fake out, right? I'm not worried, right? Because if this is a fake out, I'm covered. I'm still long from 40K and lower. 40K and a little bit higher. But about 40K, I still have big longs from about 40K, right? So we do come up, those will pay me out. And we can find fresh short-term trades down here to long from down at this key level, right? We have this blue box and have had this blue box on the chart forever because this is a long zone for me to look for longs. And we did take the long yesterday, but I closed it out before I went to bed. We showed it yesterday. I kind of wish I didn't, but it's okay. But anyway, again, we're holding the longs from lower. So if we do blast off, I don't mind, right? Because I'm already covered on the long side. But now we're covered on the short side in case we get the big dump. So I'm kind of just sitting on my hands, guys. If we rip, we're making money. If we dump, we're making money. So I'd kind of prefer a dump, honestly, because I'd rather just make money on the short, buy more alts on the dip, and then really blast off into the next bull market. All right, let's see. Yeah, just a trap going lower. If we're not going to get the fake out on money flow, very likely, right? That's what the charts are saying. The charts are saying down. But, right, I did this the other day too, and I think this could help a lot of people. Right, the chart is saying down. Money flow coming out on the daily, obviously. But if we come back over to that area where we are very in a similar situation, right? Like, look at this. We may be more in, like, look at this. Right, money flow coming out. In this case, I don't think you had the golden pocket here just yet. Yeah, like at this point, with money flow coming out like this would be bearish, right? This would be like, hey, we're retracing into an area where a lower high is very likely to come down, and if that money flow continues out, we're going to expect the longer-term trend to continue to the downside, right? But what happened? Bing bong, right to the upside into an absolute parabolic melt up, right? This would have been avoidable if you understood that in the bull markets, money flow spends more time in the green than the red. And this is literally how we actually called one of these fake outs recently. This last fake out we had, we're already getting the fake outs, right? Money flow came out, and then we were in a very similar situation here as we were here, right? We were looking at the chart here saying, hey, guys, same thing. If you look back in time, this is where we likely have fake outs on money flow where it fakes into the red and comes back into a bigger green wave and we get another leg up. And what did that make me do? Was I short from here? Yes, this was when the ETF got approved, I believe. Yeah, this is when the ETF got approved. We were looking for shorts up here, got the move down, and money flow was coming out. Like, oh my God, this could be the start of a big pullback. But we knew that we were in that area where a likely fake out was, and what did we do? Simply put, as we deviated below this range, we found a long entry right here, and I am still holding this long position. And price did not break down. and it wound up faking out and getting a big move up. We looked for that, right? And we knew, even though this was a bearish chart, I mean, you go back in time, guys, this is bearish looking. Like, this is like, at this point, if I were looking at this chart just like randomly, right, and I didn't know what price was going to do, I would be looking at this, like with the value area, you know, whatever, something like this, right? I'd be looking at this going, okay, we have our value area here. Money flow is coming out. This is very similar to what we're doing right now, right? And again, you didn't have the golden pocket, but let's pretend you had your golden pocket right here, and this is the POC of the range, right? This is where I'm saying, hey, in any other situation, this is a short to zero, right? Money flow coming out on the daily. Bear divs confirmed on the daily. Higher high, lower high. This is bearish. Oh, my God, this is a bearish retest, and we're likely going to go lower. The only way we're not going lower here is if money flow completely fakes out. And we knew we were at a high risk of that because of where we were in the cycle. And what happens? Boom. Absolutely rips up. We are almost in the exact same situation right now. We are literally looking at price here, right? As we test that lower high, we're already short, right? But money flow is about to crossing over into the red. Is it going to continue down or just fake us out again? We don't know, but we know that the fake out could be likely. So this is why I'm playing both ends of the coin, and I'm just kind of hedge short and long at the same exact time. And I know I went in on that for a while, but it's very important to understand, right? Because this is why I'm not saying, guys, long the dip, we're going lower, easy, right? There's times where we're just like, hey, long the dip, this is bullish. Oh my God, money flow looks great, we could pump, right? But we're just at a point where it's like, could go up, could go down, and I'm not willing to just bet all my money, right, to go against the money flow, even though I think the fake out's likely. We have to play both ends of the coin here. Shout out to Creighton C. Says, Tyler asked me to remind you about missed super chats. Also, I gave you the okay to hold the long last night. Yo, rookie, shout out to Creighton C. Next time I'm going to listen to you, bro. Next time I have to listen to Creighton. But let's go ahead. We got missed super chats real quick. Let's check it. Bada boom, bada bing. Okay, let's see. Oh, Thesis himself with the super chat says, candle closes of a specific level is called confirmation trading or patterns. It shows the intention to move in a specific direction based on momentum, mostly 15-minute. It's the most watched time frame in trading. Shout out to Thesis himself, dropping some sauce. Let's go. Shout out to Thesis. Hashtag yellow X's are not real. Shout out to Thesis. Let's see. What else did we miss here? What is going on, Thesis? I hope you're doing well, brother. Let's see. We got that one. We got that one. Okay, boom. I think we're caught up. Yeah, there we go. And Python, and shout out to the super chats for the altcoins, guys. If we don't get to them today, we will try to put them at the top of the list tomorrow. I wish that we could take every single super chat request, but obviously we would be sitting here until like next week or probably forever. But yeah, let's go ahead and continue on. Shout out to Scientist, I think is what it says. What's that money flow indicator? It's called Market Cipher B. You can check it out. Link in the description down below. If you use MC Frank code MCFrank20, that is code MCFrank20, you can save 20% if you're interested. So yeah, there you go. Market Cipher is the name of that. Shout out to CryptoFace, the creator. But anyway, let's go ahead and continue on here. Okay, so we took a look at Altura. Let's take a look at DOT. Bada boom. I'll just pull it up from here so I know we got the right chart. So yeah, on DOT. So here we are, right? DOT is one of those coins that we've been in the situation of bing-bonging around that bearish or that bear market kind of range that we were stuck in. Started to break out. Now we're back into the range. We're kind of playing around with that POC. And now, you know, if we hold this POC, remember, sometimes when you get a breakout and you get accepted back into the previous range and test that POC, that is where, you could get a big move up. I don't necessarily long the POCs, but I will say, I mean, money flow is like really not going our way either. Again, remembering we're in the part of the cycle where money flow usually fakes out into the red, but just binarily, chart-wise, this is bearish money flow. So you're definitely in context of this value area, right? Bada boom. So if we lose the POC, you're going to be looking down to the value area low. In my opinion, this is like a no-brainer buy zone for Polkadot, right? It's a blue chip project. Very likely not going to zero, right? Not financial advice. Could go to zero, obviously. But shout out to All-Star Auto Group. Said, Frankie, on Market Cypher B, what version are you using? I don't even know where you would see the version. I don't know. How do I see the version? Shout out to All-Star Auto Group. Yeah, interesting. I don't know. It's just Market Cypher. Market Cypher V1. I don't know. Shout out to All-Star Auto Group. I wish I had a better answer for you. But yeah, let's continue on your settings. Let's see. I mean, here's my market. I mean, you could feel free to screenshot. Oh, yeah, version 2.2.6. 2.2.6, the best version. But let's see. Yo, shout out to Crypto Sam. I have got my eyes on these. Where are they? Yes, I do have my eyes on these. Shout out to TradingView. It's like they're watching the Frankie Candles YouTube channel. They're like, hey, we got to make footprint charts. I like it. I have not actually taken a good look at these yet, but yeah, we might be having a pre-recorded video. This may look familiar. We usually look at this kind of stuff on Exo charts. Looks like TradingView now has a feature that allows you to take a look at a footprint, the footprint candles, or the footprint chart, I guess. This is interesting. I'm very picky about my settings on this. So I would have to, I don't know how much they're going to let you play around with it, but I'm definitely going to be checking this out. If you guys go to your candle settings and then click on volume footprint, and they also have the TPO profile, which is super cool as well. Another ExoCharts feature. I don't know if they're going to get me off ExoCharts, but this could be a nice alternative for some people. So yeah, check those out. I'll probably come out with a video very soon. I just haven't really spent much time on them, but I probably will tonight. But there you go, guys. On Polkadot, like simply put, we're just in this range, right? So for me, this is kind of like a longer-term plan, right? Like if I were to buy down here and we went lower, I would simply buy here. I do have a lot of Polkadot. It's one that I hold for the long term. Now, if I were to separate this, right, and we were going to hide all this, you could also look at the more local range here. I would be looking at this range right here, right? So you have your value area low, value area high. Your value area low is coming in at 637, value area high at 910. And yeah, that is deviation from the high, back into the range. Perfect bearish retest, right to the POC, right to the low. Deviation, right to the POC, retest on the low. So locally, I'd probably be looking at this as a potential, new range, right? Daily, oh, God, you just missed the daily bull div. You did get the 16-hour bull div, though. VWAP rolling over. But, yeah, I would use this as your local range, in my own personal opinion. These are levels that I would look at. Bada boom, bada bing, right? So that is what I would look for, right? Value area high at 911, POC at 676, value area low at 636. 636. I don't know what's with the sixes. But anyway, there you go. That's what I look at on Polkadot. Could continue the bounce here. Maintain over this POC. Could be working your way up to about $9.11. All right, let's go ahead and continue on. Bada boom, bada bing. Let's see. Shout out to Steve M. Said you could make a movie of your journey. The positive energy will make it a hit. Shout out to Steve M. To be quite honest with you guys, I do have quite a bit of. I'm like usually, and this is because people tell me this. They're like, every time something weird happens to me or like something crazy happens to me, everyone's just always like, yeah, dude, that would happen to you. Like, you're the guy that happens to. Like, like when everyone found out that like I'm doing this for a living, they're like, dude, I knew you weren't gonna. It just makes so much sense. Like, you're the guy that has all this happen, right? Or I'll tell them like, dude, I was at the mall and like some guy came up to me with his pants around his ankles and then asked me to do a math problem for him, and then he just crawled on the floor and like walked away on all fours. That didn't really happen, but I'll say something like that. They'll be like, why does this stuff happen to you all the time? I don't know what it is. But I do have a lot of crazy stories. If you guys only knew half of them, you'd be like, homie, you could definitely make a movie. But shout out to Steve M. I appreciate you, bro. Trying to keep that positive energy high, as always, even when, what is that? What was that? I don't know. Even when sometimes the air is thin, I try to keep the positivity high. But let's go ahead and continue on. Okay, let's continue on. So that's what I'll be looking at on Polkadot here as we are running out of time. I'm going to skip XRP today, and I'm going to replace it with ABT. Or we're just going to skip to ABT because there is one coin that I want to take a look at in a second. I'll be honest with you guys, like kind of for my own selfish reasons. Sometimes, like, I just want to use this time to, like, look at a coin myself. So, hey, Rob, I think, oh, no, Rob's here. Oh, yeah, and Pyth. We'll take a look at, I won't do the one I want. I'll do Pyth. But, Rob, can you add Cosmos or Atom to the list? I'm just kidding. But, yeah, let's take a look at Arc Block. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take off the things that we do not need. Okay, actually, all these levels are still valid. So we are literally holding on top of that value area high, which is quite interesting. Let me extend this and see where that brings our levels. Yeah, I mean, this is really clinging on to that value area high. That's actually kind of interesting, if I'm being honest. I don't know what's up with that. But, yeah, this is kind of one of those coins that, like, really, I mean, ugh, God, this thing is just like, I mean, this just looks like gravity wants to pull it down. But let's see here. Money flow coming back up here on the daily slightly, right? I know it's kind of hard to see, but your money flow is coming back up here. Not too shabby. But for the most part, I would probably, I mean, yeah. I would take these levels. Next stop to the upside is probably going to be between 398 and 363. Probably going to get some resistance there on those fib levels, whereas we're getting caught in the fib pocket that we're in right now. But yeah, I mean, that's probably going to be the next stop. If you keep coming up, these are the next two levels. 398 and 364, all the way up to 496. Those are the next key levels I would be looking at, to be quite honest with you. Green dot on the 3-day, the 4-day green dot, 5-day green dot, 6-day green dot, weekly green dot looking to print. You could push up here, to be honest. But I'd be very careful around these levels of resistance. And again, that daily money flow crossed in, like went to go into the red, but it looks like it may want to fake out here back into the green, which again may happen on Bitcoin as well. But those are definitely the key levels that I would be looking at. Shout out to Dark Crash with the Mrs. Candles hands. Let's go. Shout out to Manitoir, said XRP in a range between 51 and 52 cents. Thank you, Manitoir. I appreciate that. And there's the today's XRP technical analysis was brought to you by Manitoir. That's all I got. Anyway, let's see. Yeah, I mean, this thing does not want to go down. But if we do, I will say this. I got a nice bit of support down here. Two dailies and a monthly naked point of control. This is a nice pocket of support. Daily naked point of control / value area low. Sitting between $1.54 and $1.50. Big, nice areas of support, in my opinion. So, yeah, keep that in mind. But with all those fresh green dots on the higher time frames, if we push up, I would watch those higher targets that we just talked about. So there you go. Quick arc block. TA. Let's check out Pyth. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Let's see. So we basically just melted through those daily naked points of control. Right? Even on the 30-minute, like, clung to it for a second, bounce, lost it. So, yeah, those daily naked points of control didn't really do much for us there. But let's see. What is this? Oh, these are just to mark out the fib levels. So we have actual numbers on them. So, yeah, we can get rid of that, I'm just going to make a fresh Pyth chart here. Let's see. Take a look at the weekly. No information. 2-day, no information. 3-day information. Okay. So, I mean, you technically have a daily bull div confirmed. Money flow is kind of flat here. I don't really love the way that money flow looks. But, yeah, daily bull div, money flow kind of trying to come up a bit. But yeah. This is kind of an ugly chart, to be honest. Not ugly as in bearish, just kind of ugly to read. So yeah, I mean, you could look at this range. It's kind of wonky, to be honest with you. Daily bull div into the value area low. If you hold this, I would anticipate the POC to come in. I'm not necessarily as nervous about it, breaking down to a bigger downtrend, just because money flow is more developed here, right? Like, look at the daily money. It's kind of bing-bongy, guys. It's kind of bing-bongy. I don't know if I feel comfortable giving a direct direction on here. Money flow back in the red. Daily. Once that daily green dot prints, I think it's likely that you get some kind of a bounce here, right? Now, whether the key levels I would watch personally would simply be, your next key level, this is kind of nice because it gives you a decent bit of movement, specifically about 20%, right? So all you really need here is a bounce from here to there, and you get a 20% gain on Pyth. So I wouldn't be horrible in my opinion. Not a trade. I wouldn't say trade that. But I do think that would be a likely next move if that green dot prints and that daily bull div confirms. And then as you get that move, if you can get that move up here and money flow at that time on the daily is coming back into the green, once you flip that POC, these are definitely the levels I would look at. You got to pay attention to that daily money flow though. As you come up to this level, is that money flow crossing into the green? Is your 16-hour money flow crossing into the green? Is it likely that money flow will all start coming up and we can get a move up to that value area high? But these are definitely the levels I'd be looking at on Pyth. Nice range. Next level of resistance, if you get the move up between 67 and 62.5 cents. If you get above that POC, your next zone of resistance between 86 cents and 77 cents. Very simply put. So there you go. 4-hour money flow kind of wonked out. Kind of looks sideways-ish. Sideways, like sideways, it's kind of just neutral, to be honest. Money flow is like no clear direction here. That daily bull div doesn't look too horrible, though. I'll be honest with you. So there you go. Let's see. Shall we just move the entire list to tomorrow and you do some more BTC TA? Shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob. Loving the BTC TA. Let's go. The Bitkutsa. Shout out to Rob. Let's see. Bada boom. Hey, shout out to Bodog says, hey, Frankie, not sure if you remember me. I asked you to do TA on Bonk before the massive run. I sold before the massive run. Oh no! Shout out to Bodog. Could you look at Myro, please? Thank you, Frankie. All right, we'll throw a little bonus in there. We'll check a little Myro for our boy. Let's go ahead and check it out. Going to zero. I'm just kidding. Let's see. Green dot about to print on the daily. Let's check the 4-hour money flow. I'd really like to see this money flow up, right? Like, really what you want to see here is like nice bullish divergences with clean money flow coming up. We just don't have that on a lot of stuff, right? Like if Market Cipher B was like this, right? If Market Cipher B, right, let's say you have your zero line right here, and Market Cipher B had a big momentum wave like that, and then we had a little momentum wave like that, and we had a double green dot here, and we had a massive bull div here, and our money flow was like curving beautifully up into the green. That is where you look for the massive moves, right? But for me, we just do not have that, right? Like money flow's kind of coming up. We kind of have this wonked out bull div here, but it's nothing really significant. Other than that, I really would like to see better signals here for a big move up. Now, it doesn't mean you can't pump, but really the way I would handle that, because I don't really have a longer-term signal, right? Like even this, like no bull div here, daily bull div, no daily bull div either. But really what I would do with that information, right, if I can't find those clear signals, is I would simply pull this range, right? Now you have context. So now I would be looking at this as my volume profile. Bada boom. Value area low, POC value area high, POC value area low. Sorry guys, I slept like garbage last night for some reason. I must have been because I was sleeping on my head or something, because my neck is like, I can't even move my neck. Oh my god, it hurts so bad. But anyway, this would be kind of the levels that I would be looking at, right? And I will pull this fib as well. Let's see. Whoops. Yeah, I would look at this, right? Value area, POC value area low, right? Value area high coming in at 17 cents. POC coming in at 14 cents. Value area low coming in at 13, right? We're holding the low right now. flipped it to support. POC was the next stop, right? This is very likely to happen, right? So we saw that play out. So right now, I would just simply be waiting for a flip of that POC, right? Like, so I'm not interested in trades here unless, you get a move back down to the low or a move above the POC into the high. But other than that, this is kind of a sit on my hands and wait situation. But these are definitely the key levels that I would be looking at. I don't really see anything super clear here that's like, oh, this looks, primed. There's a bull div on the daily. Nothing like that. Nothing really that clear. So when that is the case, I just kind of use these. If I wanted to scalp this, I would use this as my kind of low time frame, not low time frame, but like my more, tangible range to trade while I wait for stronger signals on the higher time frame. So that is what I'd be looking at as far as Myro. Yeah, and if you do break out, I would take this zone of resistance. Right? So if you do break out of that value area, this will be likely the next stop, in my opinion. So there you go. That's what I got there on Myro. Shout out to Dr. Crimson's girlfriend, shouting out Trash Cat, or Wick589. Says, Frankie, can you also check Ada Seller, TRV, Matic, Caspa, Sheeb, with something? Shout out to Wick. WorldCoin, I heard they're going down. Shout out to Wick589. Wick, are you guys actually in the ATL? Let me know in the chat, brother. And let me know when you guys are here till. Shout out to Wick589. Let's see. And shout out to Al Jr. said, Frankie, where you pull that FRVP from? I'm getting a different POC. I assume, Al, you're talking about this one right here. I pulled this. If I can, get the thing. Yeah, from the top of this candle to the current price action. Al, so this is the 16-hour. Friday, April 12th is where that is pulled from. Shout out to Bodog, said thank you. Thank you for the super chat, bro. No need for that, but it is greatly appreciated. I thank you so much. But there you go, guys. That is what I am looking at on the charts here. Hopefully that helps some of you guys out. To be honest with you, wasn't really much to update you guys on today. But really on Bitcoin, the key here is, guys, to hold support above this wick level. And if we could stay above there, that's where I'd anticipate a move up to our next zone of resistance, sitting between right here, 62.9 to 63.831. And then once we flip that, we could potentially look for the bigger move up to higher prices to fill in our larger volume profile. But we know, because money flow on the daily, even though we know we're likely going to get a fake out, right? Even though we know it's likely for a potential fake out, if we get a move up here, we have to be careful of that lower high, right? If I get significant confirmations to take a short here, I will take the short or add to my current short in anticipation of money flow potentially playing out, even though we know the fake out is likely, right? This is important to remember, but we want to cover ourselves if we get the bigger move down and that money flow does wind up being correct and we see something different happen this cycle than we've seen in the past. I did not mean to draw that exactly to the naked monthly point of control, but this would be the next kind of move I would expect if the daily money flow and 2-day money flow are going to play out. And don't forget, guys, also another thing to realize here is the monthly red dot is now printing. Now, it doesn't mean that we're guaranteed to go to zero or it's going to be like the next bear market or anything like that, but these do typically give you some kind of a move to the downside. Kind of got stepped on right here. Got a little bit of a wick down. And this is also going to be over time, right? We could print this red dot and confirm it and then get a little pop up on the monthly, and it's going to be a significant move, right? So just keep that in mind. The monthly red dot is printing, which would technically be a little bit more bearish, but I'm going to be sticking to our current TA here and just playing the local levels, right? If we stay above here, looking for a move up here. If we find the short position, I will add or take a fresh short from up here in anticipation of the money flow coming out on the daily. And if we flip that key level of the value area low, daily naked point of control to support, we'll look for higher prices. And hopefully that helps you guys out. And with all that being said, that's all the time I got for tonight's live stream, guys. Don't forget to go to FrankieCandlesTrading.com and check out all our deals. We got our exchange affiliates in there. We got the new colors on that Frankie Candles hats. If you guys are interested, go check them out. All our discounts, all our deals. If you guys are doing anything trading related and you want to save some money, whether it's indicators, exchanges, or anything like that, check out FrankieCandlesTrading.com. I just like playing with this new button, which is not even supposed to be on this screen, but go check out Frankie Candles Trading. And with all that being said, shout out to the Mafia. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Shout out to Dave Digital. Shout out to J-Boy. Shout out to Wick589. Shout out to Zamboku? I don't know if I said that right. Shout out to Al Jr., Rob the Crypto Stomp, all our mods. Thank you guys for the super chat. Shout out to Salty Bitcoin. And with all that being said, That's all I got for tonight's live stream. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Same place, same time. Right here, 5:45. Shout out to Groat. I thought that said goat, and I was like, tell me somebody made like a goat account, because you guys know we love the goats over here. But anyway, guys, with all that being said, that's all the time we got for tonight's live stream. I'll see you tomorrow, same place, same time. Thank you guys for all the support. Smash that like button on your way out. It helps us infinitely, and it's 100% free. That's all I got. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong. Oh, no. Oh, no. I'm on the wrong page. Ah!
What's next for me, Joe? I'm gonna get that second bell. Where the is it? They should have had them 2 bells ready. Spit shine for me.
Yeah. Head up in the clouds, dog, they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, so nobody's into me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working them up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in my, yeah.
What is with that lower third? It's so weird. Why does that come on every time I pull this camera up? But shout out to Dave Digital. I pinned your comment there, brother. He just said dogs greater than people. I mean, I love people, but I will say, like, how could you not love dogs? Dogs are my favorite things on earth. But anyway, shout out to Bebo. Said, you can tell he doesn't put on a different face when he streaks. I've never streaked. Bo Dog. You're not one of my friends from high school, are you? Were you there at that football game? But anyway, I'm just kidding. I think he meant streams. Shout out to Bodog. What you see is what you get. Hopefully, maybe at Bitcoin Nashville, next time anybody gets to meet me, you will meet this guy. There's no different. I don't put on a front. Like maybe I a little more enthusiastic. I'm not gonna like talk to like normal people. Like, hey, what's going on, Tony D? Let's go shoot a video. But what you see is what you get with me, guys. But shout out to Bodog. I appreciate you for being here. Shout out to Dave Digital says. Done. Shout out to Dave Digital said raid Piano Matty B. Absolutely done. But before we do that, I want to do something for you guys. I saw a lot of people asking for a coin. So let's go ahead and check it out. It's Bonk. So here we are, guys, on the Bonk. I'm not supposed to be live still. But let's see here. I'm going to take a quick look at Bonk because I just saw a lot of requests for this. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Let me pull up a different chart. Let me actually just clear this real quick. So on Bonk, one thing you want to realize, this is a meme coin. Obviously, it's gotten a lot of attention, right? But Bonk is a meme coin and potentially could not respect the TA as much as we would hope. Now, it is a little bit of a wonked out range, so I'm going to pull this one a little bit more locally. Whoops. Put a little bit more locally. I do. I'll give you this. I'm not going to give the full TA on Bonk here, but I'll give you this. I'll give you the upside downside. Right now, we're sitting above that POC. If we can continue above that POC, bada boom, bada bing, value area high is going to be the next stop. Now, I'll be honest, market cipher B is maybe not looking for that, right? Money flow actually doesn't look bad, but the VWAP, you're a little you're a little overbought here on market cipher B. Money flow coming up, though, which could indicate that the trend is likely to continue to the upside within the context of the 2 hour. So if we wind up getting that red dot on the 2 hour and we come down and are able to reclaim that POC, I think it is likely you can get up to that value area high. This is also going to be heavily tied to what Bitcoin does. If Bitcoin decides to dump overnight, obviously Bonk is likely to follow. But I'll give you the key levels. This is definitely the range that I would be looking at. Bada boom, mark it out, neutral, value area high, POC, and your value area low sitting right here. Bada boom, bada bing. That's what I'd be looking at. And you lose the value area low, probably coming much lower. But again, stay on top of that POC. Could look for the move up to the value area high. Other than that, not any super, super clear signals to look for massive moves, in my opinion, or like enter a panic position right now. Oh my God, everybody long bonk. Nothing like that. So yeah, that's what I would just look for some consolidation, but definitely be using this range as context between 327.096 and 204.005. So there you go. Feel free to screenshot those levels if you guys feel the need. And with all that being said, stick around, guys. Smash that like button. We're going to go ahead and drop you into Matty B's stream. If he's live right now and I can raid him, I'm going to do it. That's all I got. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command, like, yeah, you about to see me on demand, like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on the road, here we go, here we go.
Mission control. Tony D, ready for launch to Piano Matty B. T-minus 30 seconds.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah, maxed out, put the